Okay, so here is one of the stands that I picked up. Yep, that's my scrap metal pile behind me. They're behind the stand, I'm sorry. But this is one of the metal stands that I picked up over the winter that was going to the dumpster. And I am going to make something out of it. Extra pieces and parts. So what this stand used to be used for is holding the produce bags that you pick up. There's a piece off the top that's missing. I took it off. I don't need it for this project, so I just left it in my pile. There's a couple more pieces. I'm not sure if I'm going to use those or not. I'm still trying to come up with an idea in my head for when it's all finished. But that's an option that I have. And then I have a wheel that has been hanging around for quite a while. And no, I did not bend it. That's the reason why I was able to pick it up, is somebody else bent it, and it was no longer usable for them, so I brought it home for just this purpose. I just didn't know when I was going to use it for this purpose or exactly how. But I did know that it would make a really good hose reel, or a hose holder. And now I am just about ready to start working on it. And here is another fine example of using scrap metal to make something useful. That is a wheel off of a small trailer. They call them high-speed tires. They're small diameter, but really wide. They hold quite a bit of weight. Somebody ruined that wheel, and so I collected it. It's bent on the other side. That is one of the stands that I grabbed that was destined to go to the garbage from work. The pipe is just a piece out of my scrap metal pile. I have no idea where I got it from, but just a piece out of the scrap metal pile. Got the welder out, did a couple welds, and there we go. I now have a movable hose reel, so if I change anything, that is now movable and no problem. So there we go. That is the hose stand. And so that top black magnet is my water level right now. So it looks like I am in need of filling that tank with some water. I will be getting a 55-gallon drum tomorrow to add to it, and we'll just see what happens. Hopefully it'll rain here soon, at least for one night, and I can collect a couple gallons of water that way. So the greenhouse is now gone to its new home. I got all the dirt out of that location moved into another bed. I still have to make another bed for that dirt to get moved into. I'm not in a hurry about that right now. Show you this bed down here. It's all done, full of dirt, all ready to go. And me and Kara are going to plant in that tonight after dinner. Another project, or I want to see if it'll work. I took a couple raspberry stalks, and you can see on the ground where it's wet, right along here. It's kind of piled up. I laid the raspberry stalks down, put some dirt over the top, and now I want to see if it'll actually grow raspberries for me or not. The plant was going to get ruined anyway. I was going to have to dig it up and move it. It's kind of a volunteer plant. I never actually planted it where I found this plant at. So I figured, what the heck? Might as well try this. If it works, I'll have a whole bunch of raspberries right along here. Get my raspberry patch along here started really quick and easy. I plan on having raspberries go from about where that grass is out this direction. That wood will get moved relatively soon. I want it to go out that direction about 10 feet. Just have a few rows of raspberries in there. I really do like my raspberry jam, so. I know everybody likes to see things when they're in a perfect state, but nothing about my property is in a perfect state. There's always a mess somewhere. Because I drag way too much garbage home. Just ask my wife, she'll tell you. Definitely, way too much garbage home. But that is how I can build my hose stand for relatively nothing. That's how I can do a lot of stuff that normally people just go to the store and they buy it. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer to use what somebody else threw into the trash can to make some of the stuff that I need, that I want. Because I probably would have I'd never go to the store and buy a hose stand. I would just lay the hose on the ground and leave it on the ground. I don't know. What am I saying? Huh? What am I saying? I'm un-American that way, I guess. Filling up the buckets. It's a slow process, but I need some water for my garden. So this is what I do. Now we're here just waiting on the bucket to finish filling. If I wanted more pressure, I could move it down there, but this is just fine. It don't take very long. And I generally like to do 2 barrels in the truck at a time. So about 50 times up and down that ladder, and I'll have her done. And even though there was a lot of snow on the top of that roof this year, the water content wasn't really a whole lot there, and it got used up real quick. So I am pretty low, and it's time to haul water until it rains a little bit. It'll rain soon enough though. I need my plants to start growing. And it's not like I have to do this all summer long. Once it starts raining, usually that's when I stop hauling the water, because it'll rain often enough that it keeps me topped off and keeps me full. I keep looking down because I'm checking my buckets as it's filling. I don't want it to overfill. But like last year, when it started raining in July, it didn't stop raining until September. I think we had 3 days. The longest period of time in between rainstorms was 10 hours is what I heard. So yeah, once it starts raining, I don't have to haul water anymore. I just have to get through that dry period. So I'm gonna go get 2 more barrels of water. So I don't have to worry about getting water this week. I don't have to worry about running out. I have plenty to feed my garden. Plus it's a good way to spend my Sunday. I just want to kind of take it easy anyway. It is my day off, per se. It's the one day that I give myself off. I still have work to do, but I just kind of take it easy on Sunday. Just kind of do what I feel like doing. I didn't go to the gun range. Now that's 2 weeks in a row that I didn't go to the gun range, so I won't have any of that to show you. But that's okay. So that is pretty much a 300-gallon tank right there, and you can see the black magnets. That's my indicators. I always show the old level and the new level. So now when I bring more water in, I'll check. That top level will be dropped by then because I will have used some of the water. And then I'll take that bottom magnet and move it to wherever the new tanks full of water fill it up. And more than likely, like right now, another 55-gallon drum would fill it up all the way. But probably by the end of, within a week, by next Sunday, it'll probably be, I'll need at least 100 gallons again, for sure. Because we'll use more than 55 gallons of water in a week. Because I have that potato bed and that potato bed. Potatoes like their water. Me and Kara planted this yesterday. I have radishes at that end. In the middle here, we have beans. On the edges, we have squash, and this, underneath this plastic, is leaf lettuce, romaine lettuce. And then Kara planted some plants that she had started inside the house in these pots, or these grow bags. We're gonna try them in there. She said that romaine lettuce along the outside of this bed, on 3 sides. Some garlic that made it through the winter, and then Keone had to pull it out just like she did last year. she gets through that fence and she comes in and she starts nibbling on it and pulling it out. Silly dog. And then that is gray squash. That one is gray squash. I'm not sure what this is. I never asked. And then we have a little bit more squash there. And then those trees where somebody brought them over to us and dropped them off. We just need to get them in the ground somewhere. And then my growing experiment with raspberries. See how they do. See if this works. I kind of hope it does. Be a lot easier way for me to grow some raspberries if it does work, to get them started. Not that they're really hard to start anyway. And as you can see behind me, things are starting to green up really well around here. It's gonna be a beautiful summer. A little bit more growing in the garden than I had originally anticipated, but that's the way it goes. Instead of taking it easy this year on the garden, we decided just to go for it and plant extra. I actually have another flower bed built, or another garden bed built at this time, to add even more plants to the garden, which we will probably be doing here soon. I just want to thank everybody for watching this edition of Not So Remote Alaska, and until next time, may God bless and keep each and every one of you. And with that, I am out.